Hi everyone, I'm Doug from DigiPen in Redmond. In this video, we'll learn how we can add variety and unpredictability to our games with random numbers. Let's say you're playing a nice game of cards with your family. On your turn, you reach for the deck to draw the top card. Before you take it, you pause for a moment to think about what you hope it will be. It sure would be nice to get an 8 right now, or any red card, you think. Now imagine you're playing a board game with your pals. It's your friend's turn, and she reaches for the dice. I hope she rolls a 6, you think. Come on, 6! Now you're playing a tabletop RPG with your friends. A dragon is breathing fire, and you need to get out of the way. I need to roll at least a 15, you think. All eyes are on your 20-sided die as it tumbles across the table to decide your fate. In all of these situations, the fun of the game is enhanced by the fact that what's going to happen is unpredictable. There's no way to know which card you'll draw or what number you'll roll on the dice until after you've done it. This thrill of the unknown is called anticipation, and it's well known in game design. The key behind all of this is randomness. Let's consider some examples from video games. In some space shooters, the enemies and hazards appear in random locations and move in random directions. This makes it impossible to learn a single perfect strategy that will work every time you play. In the roguelike genre, the layout of the entire game is randomized, with new rooms and hallways generated for each stage. This helps the game remain fresh because it's new every time you play it. The way to produce these random elements in video games is to use random numbers. In Scratch, you can generate a random number with the Pick Random block found in the Operators category. This block takes two numbers and gives back a random value between them. For example, if you use the numbers 6 and 12, then this block could give you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, but there's no way to know which one you'll get. You can use the Pick Random block to randomly pick things besides numbers too, such as words. To demonstrate this, let's introduce another feature in Scratch: lists. A list is kind of like a variable, except that it can store many things at once, instead of just one. A list keeps its items neatly in order, and it gives each one a number. This number can be used like a key to get the item in that spot in the list. Lists are found in the Variables category. You can create one by clicking the Make a List button in the block palette. This process is a lot like making a variable. Once a list has been made, a bunch of red blocks get added to the block palette. Making a list also causes a list editor to be added to the game window where an ordinary watcher would appear for a variable. With the list editor, you can add items to a list using the plus button in the corner, or remove them using the X button on the side of each item. To hide a list editor, use the Hide List block. To show it again, use the Show List block. Here we have a list of 6 fruits. They are numbered 1 through 6. Apple is number 1, banana is number 2, and so on. We can use the Item block to get whatever a list is storing at a given spot. For example, if we give this item block the number 4, we get durian. We can choose a random fruit from this list by putting a Pick Random block in the Item block's value field. Since there are 6 items in this list, we should choose numbers from 1 to 6. Now the Item block will report fruits from the list at random. Another use for the Pick Random block is to make it so that some code has a random chance of running. Here is a start sound block that causes the cat to meow. Let's say we want this block to have a 1 in 4 chance of running. All we need to do is pick a random number from 1 to 4. If that number equals 1, then we run this block. We can change this number from 4 to whatever we like. Now the cat only has a 1 in 1,000 chance of meowing. Let's play around a bit with random numbers and make a machine that plays random sound effects. We'll begin with a new Scratch project. First, we need to choose a sprite for our machine. You can use the default cat sprite, or you can delete it and click the Choose a Sprite button to select a different sprite. Once you've made your selection, it's time to give the sprite a set of sound effects. Click the Sounds tab at the top, and then click the Choose a Sound button at the bottom left. Browse the library and pick out as many sounds as you like. The more you choose, the more unpredictable the sound machine will be. When you're satisfied with what you've picked out, scroll through the list of sounds on the left. Take a close look. Do you see this little number in the corner of each sound? Scratch uses a list to keep track of each sprite's sounds, and these numbers are the item numbers for the list. This means that we can retrieve the sounds by number. This will come in handy when it's time to pick a sound at random. When you're ready to move on, click the Code tab to return to the code area. Now let's make the sound machine play its sounds when we click the sprite. Click the light yellow Events category on the left. Find the When This Sprite Clicked block in the block palette and drag it into the code area. Now click the magenta Sound category and find the Start Sound block. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the When This Sprite Clicked block. Don't worry about selecting a sound from its list. We're going to let Scratch's random number generator do that for us. Click the green Operators category and find the Pick Random block. Drag it into the code area and drop it on top of the drop-down list in the Start Sound block. Remember the little numbers in the sound list in the Sounds tab? The number that the Pick Random block chooses will match up with one of the items in that list. There's just one more thing we need to do to make sure this works correctly. We have to make sure that we have the right values in the Pick Random block. The left value field should be set to 1, and it already is. The right value field needs to be set to the number of sounds that this sprite has. To find this number, click the Sounds tab. Scroll down to the bottom of the sound list and look at the number on the last sound in the list. That number equals how many sounds this sprite has. Remember it. Click the Code tab to return to the code area. Do you still remember the number you just found? Type it into the right value field in the Pick Random block. Now click the sprite. Each time you click it, it plays a sound chosen at random from its list. Let's go a little further with the randomness here. Why don't we make this sprite also move around at random? Each time it's clicked, we'll make it move in a random direction. Click the medium blue Motion category on the left and find the Point in Direction block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the stack of code that's already there. In the past, we've used this block's direction picker by clicking its value field and choosing a direction with the arrow. This time, we'll use a random number instead. Click the green Operators category and find the Pick Random block. Drag and drop it into the value field in the Point in Direction block. So, What should go in the pick random block's value fields? Well, let's think about how this block is going to be used. It will choose a random direction for us. In Scratch, a direction is a rotation angle in degrees. If you're familiar with degrees, then you might know that 360 degrees represents a full rotation. This means that if we choose a number from 0 to 360, we'll cover the entire range of possible directions. In the pick random block's left value field, type the number 0. In the right value field, type 360. Click the sprite a few times and see what happens. Now let's get it moving. Because we want it to move on its own, as long as the game is running, we will need to use a loop. Click the gold Control category on the left and find the Forever block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the stack of code that's already there. Now click the medium blue Motion category and find the Move block. Drag it into the code area and attach it inside the mouth of the Forever block. Now click the sprite. After it moves to the edge of the screen, it kind of gets lost, doesn't it? We can fix this. Find the If on Edge Bounce block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the Move block inside the mouth of the Forever block. This block will cause the sound machine to bounce off the edges of the stage. Now the sound machine is complete. Have fun clicking it. Each time you do, it plays a random sound and moves in a random direction. It's so unpredictable. Let's recap what we've covered in this video. First, we learned that games use randomness to enhance the experience through the principle of anticipation. Then, we looked at a couple of examples of randomness being used in video games. Some space shooters use it to mix up the locations of the enemies, and roguelikes place their rooms and hallways differently every time you play. We learned how Scratch uses random numbers with the pick random block. It can generate random numbers, and it can be used to choose random words from a list. We also saw that the pick random block can give code a random chance of being run. Finally, we applied this knowledge by creating a sound machine that plays randomly selected sounds when it's clicked. In the next video, we'll return to Scratch Invaders to give the player an objective by introducing enemies.